Hello and welcome to the Pharmacy Informatics Professor 2020 with your host, Dr. Armin Simonian. In our last episode, we talked about IV workflow management systems. This is the technology that's applied to the compounding of sterile products. Instead of using manual methods and the syringe pullback method, we incorporate barcode scanning, gravimetrics, and also image capture using cameras under the hood to help us with more accurate, precise, and cost-effective production of sterile compounded products. And we also use full robotics for these purposes. Now, ISMP and ASHP both have recommended the use of technology-assisted workflow management for IV compounding. And so you'll hear different names for this: IV workflow management systems, or TAWF, technology assisted workflow, but it all means the same thing. And we talked about it, introduced the topic in the last episode. And in this episode, I wanted to go a step further and do a journal club presentation on this topic. So let's bring up the presentation and we can talk a little bit more about IV workflow management systems. And let me start with an article from 2019 that was a multi-center evaluation. And what they did is they had 4 hospitals in this group that had technology-assisted workflow or IV workflow management system, and the other 4 were still using manual methods. And basically, it was a study that proved that with IV workflow management systems, you can reduce errors and actually have faster preparation time at a lower cost. So this was just some evidence, research and evidence that IV workflow management systems are better than manual methods. And within this article, they talk about single site studies which prove the same thing. So this would be good to refer to if you want to answer the question, is technology-assisted workflow or IV workflow management systems more effective, better, safer than manual methods? The answer would be yes, according to this article. And going a step further, this is an article that was just published in January of this year, 2021. And they wanted to compare specifically for the preparation of oncology infusions, so chemotherapy. And in this study, they weren't looking at manual methods versus IV workflow management systems, but they were looking at semi-automated versus fully automated, so IV workflow versus full IV robotics. And what they found in comparing these, it was a study that I guess hadn't really been done before between the two technologies, but their findings were that they were pretty similar in the results. So if we assume that technology-assisted workflow or IV workflow management systems are better than manual systems, then when it comes to which one to use at a hospital, then that really is based on other factors. So they found that, and they used a gravimetric system, that the semi-automated technology-assisted workflow had similar accuracy to the full robotic system. But using the IV workflow management system, it was actually quicker than making IVs with the full robotic system. And I've heard about this before. The fully robotic IV preparation is very efficient, and it can protect the employees, the technicians and pharmacists, in that it's self-contained and there's no human intervention in terms of making the IV. So especially for chemotherapy, this would be, or any other hazardous medication, this would really be the way to go with the full IV robotics and a self-contained system for making the IVs. Now, these fully robotic systems are costly to implement and to maintain, so it is a little bit more cost effective to go with the semi-automated IV workflow systems. So it's a choice that needs to be made. And here comes the pharmacy informaticist. This is where you have specific involvement with evaluating your workflow at your hospital, looking at costs, budgets, and personnel, and looking at the types of IVs that you're making, and then making a decision on which technology would be best to implement. So this is an overview and a couple of articles that talk about IV workflow management systems. And really, at this point, we know that using IV workflow management systems is more efficient, safer than using manual methods. And the type of technology that you pick really is based on the specifics of your institution. So get involved. As a pharmacy informaticist, you should be leading these efforts to really look at what technologies are best to implement at your institution. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll thank you for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, look after the health of others. I'll continue to work on more episodes, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.